From cute little frogs to a snail that fits in your hand, today we're breaking down animals that look harmless but can actually kill you. What? When people think about deadly animals, they usually imagine sharks, lions, or giant snakes in the Amazon, right? But the truth is, some of the most dangerous animals on Earth look completely harmless. That's why today we're breaking down animals that look innocent but can cause catastrophic medical emergencies. All right, let's dive right in, shall we? Number 6, blue-ringed octopus. This tiny octopus is one of the most venomous animals on Earth. And the scariest part, it's about the size of a golf ball. The blue-ringed octopus lives in tide pools and shallow coastal waters around Australia and parts of the Pacific. Most of the time, it's a small beige or yellowish octopus quietly blending in with the sand and rocks. But when it feels threatened, its body suddenly flashes bright electric blue rings across its skin. Those glowing rings are essentially nature's warning sign that you are looking at something extremely dangerous. Tourists exploring tide pools sometimes pick them up. Unfortunately, that curiosity can turn into a medical emergency very quickly. The blue-ringed octopus carries a powerful neurotoxin called tetrodotoxin. It's produced by bacteria living inside the animal and stored in the salivary glands. Once tetrodotoxin enters the body, it targets the nervous system. Medically speaking, it blocks voltage-gated sodium channels in nerve cells. These channels are essential for nerve signals to travel from your brain to your muscles. When they're blocked, the electrical signals that tell your muscles what to do simply stop working. The first symptoms usually start subtly, but the progression can be fast. What makes this toxin extra terrifying is that the brain itself isn't affected in the same way. In many cases, the victim remains fully conscious while their body becomes progressively paralyzed. There is no widely available antivenom for blue-ringed octopus venom. That means treatment in the ER focuses almost entirely on supportive care. The most critical step is maintaining breathing. If a patient arrives with respiratory paralysis, doctors immediately move to support the airway, often placing the patient on a ventilator so a machine can breathe for them while the toxin works its way out of the system. Number 5, poison dart frog. This little frog looks like something straight out of a Pixar movie. In fact, many of them are so small they could easily sit on the tip of your finger. But those vibrant colors aren't there to look pretty. Oh no. In nature, that kind of bright coloration is called aposematic coloration, which is basically a visual signal telling predators, "Don't eat me." And in the case of the poison dart frogs, that warning is absolutely justified. These frogs carry one of the most powerful natural neurotoxins known to science, a compound called batrachotoxin. Unlike many toxins that shut nerves down, batrachotoxin does the exact opposite. It aggressively forces sodium channels in nerve cells to stay permanently open. When they're forced to stay open, nerve cells begin firing continuously without control. Muscles begin contracting uncontrollably. Severe spasms can develop. The heart's electrical rhythm becomes unstable, leading to dangerous arrhythmias. From a medical perspective, exposure to batrachotoxin is extremely dangerous because there is no specific antidote. Treatment in the emergency department focuses on managing the symptoms while trying to keep the patient stable. Doctors may attempt to stabilize heart rhythms if arrhythmias do occur, control seizures, and provide respiratory support if the toxin begins interfering with breathing. Fortunately, most human exposures are extremely rare because these frogs generally live deep in the rainforest environments and they don't attack people. The danger comes from handling them directly. Number 4, cone snail. If you've ever walked along a beach collecting seashells, you may have come across something that looks like this. A cone snail shell is smooth, perfectly patterned, and honestly, kind of beautiful. That's exactly why people pick them up. But what most beachgoers don't realize is that some of these shells are not empty at all. Instead, they house the cone snail. And cone snails are actually active venomous hunters that hide inside those shells. You see, inside the snail's mouth is a tiny hollow tooth that functions like a microscopic harpoon. When prey get close enough, the snail launches that tooth outward at incredible speed, injecting venom into the target. That venom is a complex mixture of toxins called conotoxins, and they are among the most potent neurotoxins found in the animal kingdom. Instead of affecting just one nerve pathway, conotoxins target multiple types of ion channels and receptors throughout the nervous system. When these signals are disrupted, muscles begin to lose function. In humans, the first symptoms often start locally at the sting site, but then the toxin can spread quickly through the bloodstream. Numbness may begin traveling up the limb, muscle weakness develops, and coordination starts to disappear. And as the toxin continues to affect nerve signaling, paralysis can occur. Eventually, the muscles responsible for breathing may even stop working, leading to respiratory failure. From an emergency medicine perspective, treatment is largely supportive because, like other animals before it, there is no widely available antivenom for cone snail venom. The biggest priority is monitoring breathing and heart rhythm. Number 3, pufferfish. You'll see them in aquariums, on nature shows, even as animated characters in movies. But underneath that harmless appearance is a defense mechanism that can be incredibly detrimental to humans. Inside the pufferfish's organs, particularly liver, ovaries, and sometimes the skin, they contain a powerful neurotoxin called tetrodotoxin. This is the same toxin we talked about earlier with the blue-ringed octopus, and it deserves repeating to say that it's one of the most potent, naturally occurring poisons known to man. To give you a sense of just how potent this toxin is, tetrodotoxin is estimated to be roughly 1,200 times more toxic than cyanide by weight. Tetrodotoxin works by targeting the nervous system. Specifically, it blocks voltage-gated sodium channels in nerve cells. Like its other ocean friend, if you get a dose of tetrodotoxin from a pufferfish, the first symptoms usually start subtly. People often notice tingling or numbness around the lips and tongue, sometimes spreading to the face and fingertips. But then that numbness can quickly progress through the arms and legs as the toxin circulates through the body. From a medical perspective, tetrodotoxin poisoning is a race against time. Number 2, slow loris. This might be the cutest animal on the list. How cute and cuddly looking. But appearances, my friend, can be very misleading here. The slow loris is actually the only known venomous primate on Earth. It lives in parts of Southeast Asia and spends most of its life moving slowly through trees at night. Despite its calm appearance, it has evolved a pretty unusual defense mechanism. On the inside of its upper arms are specialized glands that produce a toxic secretion. When the animal feels threatened, it raises its arms above its head and licks those glands, mixing the toxin with its saliva. That combination turns its bite into something much more dangerous than people expect. When the loris bites, the venom-laced saliva can enter the wound and trigger a powerful biological reaction. In some cases, the bite causes severe local inflammation and tissue damage around the area of the wound. But the more dangerous reaction is systemic. The venom can provoke a strong immune response in the body, and in certain individuals, that reaction can escalate into anaphylaxis. Blood vessels suddenly dilate, blood pressure drops, and the airway can begin to swell shut. The first line treatment is usually epinephrine. Doctors may also administer antihistamines and steroids to calm the immune response and reduce swelling. The number 1 animal that looks harmless but is actually very deadly, the box jellyfish. The box jellyfish looks delicate in the water, almost invisible. If you were swimming past one, you might not even notice it until you were already too close. And that's exactly why this animal is considered one of the deadliest creatures in the ocean. They're most commonly found in warm coastal waters around northern Australia and parts of Indo-Pacific. And despite their fragile appearance, the real lurking danger comes from their tentacles. Each tentacle is lined with thousands of microscopic structures called nematocytes. Think of them as tiny spring-loaded harpoons. And the moment a tentacle touches skin, these cells fire almost instantaneously, injecting venom into whatever they've contacted. First comes the pain. People who have been stung often describe it as one of the most intense pains imaginable, almost like being branded with a hot iron. From there, the toxins can enter the bloodstream and begin affecting the cardiovascular system. Box jellyfish venom interferes with cell membranes and can disrupt the electrical activity of the heart. In severe exposures, that toxicity can trigger dangerous heart rhythm disturbances, cardiovascular collapse, and even cardiac arrest. From an emergency medicine standpoint, the first priority is getting the person out of the water immediately. Once out of the water, rinsing the area with vinegar, which can help deactivate any nematocysts that haven't fired yet. After that, treatment focuses on managing the body's response to the venom. Pain control is often necessary because the sting can be incredibly severe. Medical teams also monitor the heart rhythm and vital signs closely. But the reason this animal tops the list is because of just how quickly things can escalate. A creature that looks like a drifting piece of glass in water is capable of delivering a venom powerful enough to overwhelm the heart and nervous system in minutes. So here's the takeaway. some of the most dangerous creatures on Earth don't look dangerous at all. In other words, don't pick up animals you don't recognize. If you found this breakdown interesting and want more ER explanations of dangerous animals, diseases, and strange medical mysteries, go ahead and binge watch this playlist right here. And if you want a part 2, hit that like button and let me know in the comments. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and turn on your bell notifications so you don't miss a single video. Thank you so much for watching, and stay healthy, my friends.